Welcome to Reread, where I'm rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order. We're going through the Clone Wars comic digest, and I've only got one to talk about today because it's the best one out of the whole group. It's called Strange Allies. This is written by Ryder Windham, which you can totally tell it's so much better in so many ways. The story is better. The artwork is great. No other artwork looks better than this one. The artwork previously, even though I didn't explain it that much, it's not that good. In some ways, some of the ways that they pose the characters are just really like, how does that work? Why are they posing like that? How can they stay balanced when they're posed like that? I mean, it's just really weird. I mean, they're stylistic artwork, but the artwork that they were having in there, I had some big problems with, but I mean, Ryder Windham said, I'm not getting that crappy artwork. Give me some good artwork. And so that's what he got. Now, this one, and this one took me for a loop. This is Padawan Nuru. He's back. Why do I say he's back? Chronologically, we shouldn't have read about him yet. No, I got it wrong. I thought this was Padawan Nuru's first adventure. For some reason, I totally messed up here. So the Breakout Squadrons, the Secret Missions, Clone Wars Secret Mission series, should probably take place before this. In fact, I'm going to have to rearrange all of these Clone Wars comic digests after I'm done. I have an idea of where I want them, but I'm going to wait, and you can check out my timeline on the website because it's obviously changed by now if you're seeing this video. But I am definitely going to change the timeline because this takes place after all of the Secret Missions adventures. In fact, when Palpatine suggests that Kit Fisto be sent on this particular mission where they need a Jedi, but he's busy right now. And what about Padawan Nuru? And then they recount all of his adventures from the past 4 books. Of course, Ryder would know about his adventures because he had already written those. So this one obviously comes out later after those adventures. So again, pushing these Clone Wars comic digest a little bit further down the timeline for me. But Savage Opress is in this too, Darth Maul's brother, just for like a minute. And again, about being violent. You see the top, I mean, he attacks this hut and a bunch of the pirate criminals that Nuru was coming to, capture. Savage comes beforehand because they have ties to Lord Tyrenius or whatever. Count Dooku needs them killed before they can talk to the Jedi. So Savage Opress comes and just kind of wipes the floor with them with a vibro axe. And when Nuru gets there, you see them all dead, but you see like the top half of a hut's head in a pool of, it's not blood, but it's like slime. Because I'm sure they couldn't do blood, but still, really gross and really cool, that it was that descriptive and that violent. Again, I don't remember all the violence that was put into these comic books, but I love it. Now, Nuru has enlisted Jizz to help him out, which is he's also in Secret Missions too. And so Jizz is just the lovable, dumb, kind of swoop bike rider, thug, who falls in love with there's a blind Twi'lek who's helping all these orphans. And after Nuru's mission is done, he goes, oh, well, I guess we got to wait here for the Republic to pick us up or leave. We got to leave back on our next mission. Well, this blind Twi'lek says, hey, will you take, me and the orphans with you to this planet? And he goes, sure. And of course, Jizz is all in love with the girl, and he's hitting on her. And there's so much comedy in this book. It's just great. There's a little transition kid who is trying to get Jizz's attention because he wants him to read him a book, and he's like, cute kid. And he keeps trying to hit on the twig. He's like, I love your eyes. She went, I'm blind. He goes, oh, they're still very pretty. And the whole time the kid's going, read me a book, mister, read me a book. And then later on he says, you can't read, you stupid. And then there's some more dialogue with Jizz and the Twi'lek, and the little boy goes, you ugly too. It's really funny. And then finally Jizz gets, because every time he keeps saying something, the little boy says something at the end of the panel, like, you stupid and ugly. And he goes, okay, that does it. And Jizz throws him out the airlock and goes, any other kids want to step up? And talk to me? He said, I'll throw you out the airlock next. And all the kids look at him. And then the next panel, they're all crying. And she's like, did you really throw him out the airlock? No, he threw him into a little compartment. But he pretended it was an airlock. Well, of course, the blind Twi'lek does not like that. So when they debark, she went and talked to Big Jizz, and she goes, "Come on, kids, make your way to that green, transport, and let's get out of here." And he's like, "Wait a minute, what's?" He said, "Jizz doesn't understand." And Nuru's like, "Look, Jizz, the way you kind of treated her, the way you treated the kids, it's probably why she doesn't like you now. You were flirting with her, and she was flirting back until you treated her kids like crap." And Jizz goes, "No, not talk about that. Something else." Because Jizz is supposed to be really stupid, but he's caught on to something. He knows something's up. Well, we find out that the Twi'lek is really one of the pirates' informants, and she's using the orphans as cover to, continue on whatever their scam was. I can't remember what their scam was. Well, then, of course, the Nuru and Jizz get on swoop bikes and stop them. And the Twi'lek pretends like, "Oh, I'm so glad you saved us and saved the kids." And Jizz goes, "You ain't blind. You say, go to green transport. How you know it green?" And I was like, "Oh, wait, did she say that?" And I had to flip back a few pages. She does say that. You just don't pick it up because you think she's miffed because of what Jizz did to the orphan earlier. It's really smart. And leave it to Ryder Windham to put in a great little twist there at the end. Now, I think they chase the Twi'lek off into a swamp where she has a blaster put at him. He's like, Nuru's like, "Look out behind you." She's like, "I won't fall for that." And of course, there's this big giant slug or whatever that eats her. And Jizz goes, he said, "You can't see as well as Jizz after all," because I think that was something he told her at the beginning when she was blind. But so Jizz gets the upper hand. Well, at the end, there's still more comedy because Ryder Windham's a genius. Jizz is talking to Nuru and saying, he won't care. The sluttiest looking, he didn't say sluttiest, but he says the best looking Zeltron could not come up to him right now and say, "Would you want to dance?" And he said, "And you know what Jizz would say?" And Nuru goes, "Sure." Like you would say, "Sure." He went, "No, Jizz would say, 'No, thank you. Jizz not happy.'" He's like, "Oh, come on, Jizz, you will be happy." So he takes him to Dexter Jettster's diner, which is where they started this whole adventure. Jizz was hitting on the waitress who wasn't interested in Jizz at all. But when they get into Dexter Jettster's diner, that's a hard thing to say. The waitress got a call from Nuru, and she went, "Jizz, I hear that you saved a whole school bus of orphans." She went, "I'm buying you a hero's dinner." And Jizz goes, "Ooh, okie day." Really funny stuff. Really great stuff. This is by far the best one out of the whole series. Absolutely love it. Strange Allies. What a good one here. But anyway, I've got 2 more to go over next time.